She's released today, and we're certainly rejoicing in her release, but the court order did not resolve the underlying issue, and that issue is Kim Davis has asked for a very simple accommodation. Remove her name and her authority from the marriage certificates, and that's what we've asked from the very beginning. Kim still is asking for that today, and we will continue to ask for that in the future.
All right, folks, welcome aboard the Steve Malzberg Show from our New York City studios, and it is a very good day. As you saw there, Matt Staver, who we had on the show last week, with his client Kim Davis, as she is released from prison after Friday, Saturday, Sunday, after about 4 days behind bars for refusing to issue gay marriage licenses to gay couples in her jurisdiction in the state of Kentucky. Now, as you also heard, the legal problems here are not settled. And, of course, she's requesting that her name be taken off the license and that, she has nothing to do with that anymore. But that is unresolved, according to her attorney. So time will tell. We just don't know yet how that's going to work itself out. Now, I'll tell you, Mike Huckabee was with her. He went to visit her today. The plan was to visit her in jail. He wound up being there when she got released. He spoke. He said he would go to jail for her if push came to shove. I don't know if that's permissible, and I don't know if that's ever going to happen or not going to happen. Can't really tell you. Interesting here, before we go to Adam Thompson for his legal opinion on this, and then we could debate the issue. Somebody who defended Kim Davis is a man by the name of Christopher Ciccone, or Ciccone. He's the brother of Madonna, the singer, and he is gay. And he says that the gay community feels the need to be sore winners. And he posted on Facebook and said, once again, the gay community feels the need to be sore winners. Is it so difficult to allow this woman to practice her religion? Or must we destroy her in order for her to betray her faith? No matter how we judge its truth, the rights we all have fought for mean nothing if we deny her hers. That's from a gay man. And I got to tell you, just because gay activists appear on TV and you see them holding up signs outside courthouses doesn't mean the entire gay community feels that way. Keep that in mind. All right, we're joined right now by Adam Thompson, senior partner and owner of the law offices of Adam M. Thompson, and of course syndicated talk show host and a frequent guest here on Newsmax TV. Hello, Adam.
How you doing, Steve?
All right, you and I disagreed on this, I think, on Thursday on the panel. So are you glad she's out of prison? Are you surprised she's out of prison today?
I'm not surprised she's out of prison, and I don't think anybody was happy to see her placed in jail, but you have to remember, she was given a direct order by the governor of the state to do her job. She failed to do that. She continued to refuse to do that, so then it went to court. A federal judge instructed her to do her job, and they left no other out. Once she denied and refused to do what a federal judge instructed her to do, she was in contempt of court. When you have contempt of court, there's penalties, there's sanctions, and one of them is going to jail. And he gave her a very clear choice. Perform your job, which you were elected to do. This isn't a private religious situation where you're doing things at your church and home. This is an elected position. You are a member of the government. You were elected to do a job. Do that job.
All right. Well, to that point,
what parts you want to do.
To that point, and I'm glad you said all that, because to that point, Mike Huckabee, as I brought up, I'm not saying he took it from me by any means, but as I mentioned, I think to you in the panel on Thursday, Mike Huckabee said this yesterday. Watch.
You have Barack Obama and Eric Holder when he was Attorney General. They ignored the rulings of DOMA. Did they get put in jail for ignoring the law? They most certainly did not. So when is it that liberals get to choose which laws they support, but a county clerk in Kentucky who, acting on her Christian faith, is criminalized, jailed without bail?
He also talked about Gavin Newsom, the mayor of San Francisco at the time, performing same-sex weddings, quote-unquote, even though that was against the law. He didn't go to jail. And then he talked about, and he brought up Abraham Lincoln, who ignored the courts on a very, very significant court case that you're well aware of. He ignored the Supreme Court, and nothing happened to him as well. So, I mean, why this woman and not Gavin Newsom, not Barack Obama, not Abraham Lincoln, not Eric Holder?
You know, I really hate when people use this.
By the way, I'm talking about Dred Scott case, but go ahead.
I hate when people use this religious freedom cloak around them. To me, it's disingenuous. It's picking and choosing points in history of certain situations and trying to use them to an advantage. There is separation of church and state. That's simple and plain. They shouldn't be commingled. That's the way the founding fathers...
No, but answer me, Adam. Why does this woman, who is adhering to her religious beliefs, is what she says, when
when
Gavin
she's
Newsom...
not on her own time.
But
she's
you're
not doing this at home or in her own church.
Adam, but you haven't addressed what Huckabee said and what I'm asking you. Then why didn't Barack Obama and/or Eric Holder go to jail for openly saying and flaunting that they were not going to enforce DOMA? And if you want to go further, Barack Obama picks and chooses what part of immigration laws he will enforce and won't enforce. Barack Obama took the Obamacare health bill and said, we're not going to start this yet. We'll wait. We're not going to start this yet. We'll wait. Why doesn't he go to jail?
Well, here's the great thing about our country, Steve. That's why there's courts. That's why there's litigation. If people think he violated the law, if there's people out there, senators, members of Congress, whoever they may be, think that there were laws that were not followed by members of the executive branch, file a case in court, pursue it, and that's what the litigation will be about, and there'll be a resolution. That's what happened here. There's laws in place that say that gays can now get legally married throughout the country based on a Supreme Court decision. Period. That's the law of the land. As an elected official who taxpayers pay her salary, including those gay couples that wanted to get married, she as a government representative has to follow the law. Not following the law, she was actually committing acts of discrimination against those couples. That actually opened up that government for a lawsuit, if you want to get to the bottom line. She had a job. If she can't perform the duties of that position, then resign. For her to now ask, well, change some of the requirements or job tasks is ridiculous. That's never going to happen. She could ask, her lawyer could ask, and they're going to laugh at her.
But Adam, the law and the circumstances have changed. The state constitution of Kentucky, under which she was sworn to and elected to and swore an oath to, still says marriage is between a man and a woman, and still says it's illegal to give licenses to gay couples, because the people that need to officially change that have not. So you could say...
But that's in the state legislative branch to address that. There's now a Supreme Court case, and that Supreme Court case is now the law of the land. That overrides even the local state laws or courts or whatever their decisions are. That's why cases go to the Supreme Court, to interpret and make final decisions where there's differences between states. Because I'll give you this analogy, Steve. If the state of Kentucky tomorrow decided to reenact slavery and they wrote it into their state constitution, because that's what the state legislative branch said to do, with all of a sudden slavery be okay?
No, that nobody. Well, first of all, that's Adam. First of all,
override the federal court decisions.
Adam. First of all, that's a terrible analogy. But secondly,
it's
not about rewriting something in that's already against the law. It's about writing something out that has always been the law and that is not caught up yet. So the state constitution is not caught up yet with the ruling, is what she's saying.
What marriage is between a man and woman and who it is. That's one particular belief system of one group of religion based on maybe one set of a religious book. There's people out there that are atheists. There are people out there that are Muslims. There are people out there that are Jewish. All different people have different religious views. Who is she to impose her Christian view on this gay couple, saying, don't impose your thing on me?
Adam, I gotta go. But you know, Adam, gotta go. But you well know that that gay couple could go anywhere else next door, down the block, down the street, and get another so that's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. Hey, gotta go. We're coming back. Joy Ann Reid of MSNBC. Don't go away.